Hundreds of motorcycles promise freedom, but only a rare 12 prove cheap to buy and tough enough to keep for life. They are hidden in plain sight. Machines like the Super Cub and Bullet 350, built by the millions and kept running on every continent. Some have ridden through jungles, others outlasted decades of city commutes. But why have these simple older bikes survived while others fade? That answer starts here. On nearly every continent, the Honda Super Cub is more than a motorcycle. It's a fixture of daily life. Since 1958, more than 100 million Super Cubs have rolled off assembly lines, making it the best-selling motor vehicle in history. Mechanics from Bangkok to Buenos Aires know its simple, air-cooled engine inside and out. If a Cub needs a new piston or just a fresh cable, chances are the part is already on the shelf, whether you are in a city shop or a roadside stall. That global reach means even a decades-old Super Cub can be kept running with little more than basic tools and a bit of know-how. For riders, it's not just about numbers. It's about the quiet confidence that comes from owning a machine the world never forgot how to fix. The Royal Enfield Bullet 350 tells a different story, but the ending is much the same. Built in India since 1955, the Bullet's design has barely changed in over 60 years. Its single-cylinder thump is instantly recognizable, and so is its reputation for simplicity. In small towns and sprawling cities alike, Bullet mechanics carry repair wisdom passed down through generations. Spare parts are everywhere, from official dealers to open-air markets. Owners swap stories about keeping a Bullet on the road for decades, often with nothing more than a wrench, a hammer, and a bit of patience. There is no mystery to its upkeep, just a shared language of nuts, bolts, and tradition. Both the Super Cub and the Bullet 350 owe their staying power to more than just sturdy engines. They thrive because parts are always close at hand, and because riders and mechanics everywhere know how to keep them alive. This is what makes them forever bikes, not just what they are made of, but the worldwide network of people who refuse to let them fade away. When riders talk about motorcycles that refuse to quit, the Kawasaki KLR 650 always comes up. Since its debut in 1987, the KLR has carried riders over mountain passes, across deserts, and through city traffic without complaint. Adventure travelers have logged more than 100,000 miles on a single KLR, relying on its air-cooled single-cylinder engine and basic electronics that shrug off mud, rain, and rough roads. The KLR's reputation is not spotless. A small part inside the engine, known to riders as the doohickey, has a habit of failing. But the fix is simple: a $50 aftermarket kit and an afternoon in the garage. As one mechanic likes to say, it's the world's cheapest insurance policy for a bike that will outlast your boots. Once sorted, the KLR becomes a true forever bike, tough, forgiving, and ready for anything, whether that means a daily commute or a ride from Alaska to Argentina. Honda's CB750, on the other hand, changed what motorcycling meant for everyone. Released in 1969, the CB750 was the first mass-produced four-cylinder motorcycle, and it did not just set a new standard, it invented one. The engine runs with a smoothness that still impresses, thanks to four carburetors feeding four cylinders in perfect rhythm. That meant less vibration, more power, and a riding experience that felt years ahead of its time. The CB750's engineering was so solid that police departments, racers, and everyday riders all put their trust in it. Even decades later, you will find original CB750s running strong, their engines quietly humming along after 50 years. What sets the CB750 apart is not just reliability, it is the feeling of riding a piece of history that was built to last. Parts are still out there, and a strong community of enthusiasts keeps the knowledge alive, making it a practical classic for anyone who wants a forever bike with a story behind every mile. Both the KLR 650 and the CB750 prove that smart engineering and a little preventive care go a long way. Whether you are drawn to the KLR's go-anywhere grit or the CB750's timeless four-cylinder magic, these bikes offer more than nostalgia. They offer a ride you can count on year after year. For riders who care about value, character, and longevity, these are bikes you can buy cheap and keep for life. Reliable, simple, and full of personality, they are built to last. The Suzuki SV650 stands out as a rare kind of all-rounder, one that adapts to nearly any riding style or need. Since 1999, riders have turned to the SV650 for its 649 cubic centimeters V-twin engine, but the real secret lies in what happens after you buy one. The aftermarket for the SV650 is massive. Owners swap out seats for comfort, bolt on luggage racks for touring, fit clip-ons or handlebars for their preferred riding position, and even upgrade suspension with kits that cost less than a weekend getaway. There is a modification for every taste and budget, whether it is a taller windscreen for highway miles or a new exhaust for a deeper growl. The SV650 frame and engine have barely changed in over 2 decades, so parts from earlier years fit the newest models, and vice versa. That means if you want to make the bike your own, turning it into a commuter, a backroad carver, or a lightweight tourer, the path is wide open. Yet the SV650 is not just about tinkering. Its core design is simple and robust. The engine is known to break 100,000 miles with just routine care. Forums and owner groups are full of stories about SV650s that have survived crashes, road trips, and track days, only to be rebuilt and ridden another decade. For anyone who likes to personalize their ride or keep things running with basic tools, the SV650 is a blank canvas that never wears out. The V-Strom 650, built on the same reliable V-twin platform, takes that adaptability even further. Launched in 2004, the V-Strom quickly earned a reputation among long-distance riders for comfort that does not fade after a full day in the saddle. Its upright ergonomics, plush seat, and wide handlebars make it an easy fit for riders of all sizes. Owners routinely rack up 100,000 miles or more, documenting every oil change and valve check along the way. The bike shrugs off bad weather, rough pavement, and fully loaded panniers. Aftermarket support is just as strong as the SV650s, with options for bigger windscreens, heated grips, auxiliary lighting, and everything an adventure rider might need. Both bikes attract a community of riders who value function over flash. Online forums, YouTube channels, and local clubs swap advice on everything from quick fixes to cross-country trip prep. Whether you are a do-it-yourself mechanic or just want a motorcycle that grows with you, the SV650 and the V-Strom 650 offer a rare promise: buy it cheap, set it up your way, and keep it for as long as you want to ride. Some motorcycles invite you to take them apart just as much as they invite you to ride. The Yamaha Bolt is one of those bikes. With a 942 cubic centimeter air-cooled V-twin, the Bolt keeps things refreshingly simple. The engine sits exposed, with nothing hiding the spark plugs or the oil filter. Routine jobs, like changing the oil or adjusting the belt, can be handled with a basic socket set and a quiet afternoon in the garage. Owners talk about swapping seats, adding slip-on exhausts, or reworking the rear fender, all without ever opening a service manual. Yamaha designed the Bolt so the average rider could keep it running strong for years, not just seasons. The air-cooled layout means fewer hoses, less electronics, and almost nothing to go wrong that cannot be fixed with a wrench. Parts are easy to find, thanks to Yamaha's habit of sharing components across models, so you are never left hunting for a rare bracket or an overpriced filter. For those who want a classic look with modern reliability, the Yamaha XSR 650 answers the call. Introduced in 2016, the XSR 650 borrows its bones from decades of proven engineering. The heart of the bike is a 654 cubic centimeter air-cooled parallel twin, an engine type Yamaha has trusted since the original XS 650 back in 1969. This is not nostalgia for nostalgia's sake. The XSR 650 uses modern materials and tighter tolerances, but keeps the straightforward layout that made its ancestors so beloved. Maintenance is as hands-on as you want it to be. Valve checks, chain adjustments, and oil changes are all within reach for a home mechanic. The frame and engine share parts with other Yamaha models, so the supply chain is strong and prices stay reasonable. Both the Bolt and the XSR 650 are built for people who want to take charge of their own machines. Whether it is a Saturday spent tuning carbs or a quick fix before a Sunday ride, these bikes reward the rider who is willing to get their hands dirty. And because Yamaha keeps supporting these platforms, you are not just buying a bike, you are buying into a system designed to keep rolling year after year. For riders who want to own their machine, not just ride it, that kind of control is hard to put a price on. Some motorcycles are cheap to buy, but the real question is what they cost to own year after year. The Honda Rebel 500 answers that, with numbers that make sense for any budget-minded rider. This bike sips fuel. Real-world riders report averages near 65 miles per gallon. That means a full tank takes you farther than most cars, and stops at the pump are few and far between. Insurance rates stay low because the engine is modest and repairs are rare. Routine maintenance is simple. Oil changes, chain adjustments, and valve checks do not require a professional mechanic or special tools. Parts are everywhere, and they are priced to keep you riding, not to break the bank. The Rebel's parallel twin engine is a modern design, but it keeps things uncomplicated under the skin. No complicated electronics, no hidden surprises. For anyone who wants to ride daily without worrying about expensive surprises, the Rebel 500 is about as stress-free as it gets. Then there is the Yamaha V-Star 250, a cruiser that proves less can be more. Its 249 cubic centimeters air-cooled V-twin is as straightforward as engines come. Just 2 cylinders, a carburetor, and a reputation for shrugging off neglect. Oil changes are quick, and valve adjustments can be done in a home garage with basic tools. The V-Star simplicity means there are fewer parts to wear out, and the ones that do are easy to find. Many owners ride these bikes for years with little more than regular oil and tire changes. Fuel economy hovers around 78 miles per gallon, and the small tank is never a burden thanks to the bike's light weight. For new riders, or anyone who values a low-stress, low-cost ride, the V-Star 250 is a lesson in how simplicity keeps you on the road. Both the Rebel 500 and the V-Star 250 stand out for what they do not have. No overcomplicated electronics, no pricey specialty parts, and no hidden maintenance headaches. Their designs are rooted in the idea that a motorcycle should be easy to live with, whether you are commuting, cruising back roads, or just enjoying a weekend spin. When the running costs stay low and the mechanics stay simple, it is not just your wallet that breathes easier. It is you, every time you start the engine. In the world of motorcycle durability, few names carry the weight of the Kawasaki KZ series. These weren't just weekend machines. They were the backbone of police fleets across North America and Europe through the late 70s and 80s. The KZ-1000 in particular earned its stripes under the harshest conditions. Fleet logs from the California Highway Patrol show these bikes racking up 75,000 miles before retirement, with most seeing service 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. Engine rebuilds came only after 60 to 80,000 miles, and records show less than 1% suffered catastrophic engine or frame failure. Most issues were minor: electrical gremlins, the occasional carburetor tune, worn suspension bushings. Mechanics tell stories of oil changes every 3,000 miles and valve checks every 6,000 miles, but little else. The heavy-duty frame and robust inline-4 engine kept the KZ-1000 running long after many rivals had bowed out. Even after their official service, these bikes found new life with civilian owners, often adding decades of reliable miles to their odometers. Smaller siblings like the KZ-900, KZ-750, and KZ-650 saw duty in smaller departments and training fleets. While they did not match the raw power of the KZ-1000, they shared the same core toughness and ease of maintenance. Police mechanics from Toronto to Los Angeles recall the KZ's reputation for being the last bike to come off the road at the end of the day. Trade publications from the era called the KZ-1000 the gold standard for police motorcycles, a machine that could be counted on shift after shift, year after year. The legacy of the KZ fleet bikes is not just about nostalgia, it is about documented endurance. Surveys from owner groups show that many of these ex-police bikes are still on the road, often with 70 to 80,000 miles showing on the clock. Their durability is not a matter of legend. It is a matter of maintenance logs and mileage records, backed by decades of hard use and straightforward engineering. Today, if you want a forever bike with institutional proof behind it, a well-kept KZ from the Big Four lineup is as close as it gets to a sure thing. But the story of long-lasting motorcycles does not stop in the past. Honda's CRF 300L, though a recent arrival, carries the torch forward for riders who want modern reliability without giving up simplicity. The CRF 300L's single-cylinder, liquid-cooled engine is built for the long haul, with factory service intervals that stretch farther than most riders will push in a season. Oil changes are spaced out, valve checks are easy, and the design stays true to the Honda tradition of making bikes that outlast trends. Early owners are already logging big miles, with few complaints and even fewer breakdowns. Whether you are commuting, exploring back roads, or just looking for a bike that will not let you down, the CRF 300L stands as proof that forever bikes are not just a thing of the past. They are still being built today, ready to ride for decades to come. In a world chasing the latest tech, these old bikes still start with a single turn of the key. The demand for simple, reliable machines is rising. Classic motorcycle values have outpaced inflation since 2018. Owning one is not just nostalgia, it is practical resilience in uncertain times. Sometimes, the best way forward is on a machine built to last. Tell me, which classic would you keep forever?